That unsettling feeling. The one that jolts you awake in the middle of the night, nudging you out of a much-needed deep sleep and sending you on that familiar journey to the bathroom. Maybe it's once, maybe twice, or even more. And you find yourself wondering, why me? Why now? It's a reality for so many of us over 60, a frequent and frustrating interruption that chips away at our rest, our energy, and even our peace of mind. We often blame it on aging, a natural decline, or simply just how it is. But what if I told you that some of the biggest culprits aren't things you're born with, but rather habits you've picked up, especially in the evening hours? It's a surprising truth, often overlooked, and it directly impacts your prostate health and, by extension, your nightly trips to the loo. The secret isn't some complicated medical procedure or a rare medication. It's nestled in the simple choices you make every single night. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 specific night habits that are likely affecting your prostate and disrupting your sleep. Understanding these isn't just about reducing bathroom visits. It's about reclaiming your rest, boosting your daytime energy, and truly improving your overall well-being. Stick around until the very end, because I promise there's something waiting for you. A piece of advice that might just completely surprise you and change the way you approach your evenings. Now, let's dive right into the first habit, which, while seemingly innocent, can have a profound impact on your prostate and your sleep quality. That's drinking too much liquid right before you settle down for the night. Think about it. Our bodies are constantly processing fluids, and when you load up on water, tea, or any beverage in the hour or two leading up to bedtime, you're essentially setting your bladder up for a busy night. For men, as we age, the prostate gland often begins to enlarge, a condition known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. This enlargement can press on the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of the body, making it harder for urine to flow freely and for the bladder to empty completely. So, when you add a large volume of liquid to this already compromised system right before sleep, your bladder fills up much faster, and the pressure from your prostate makes it harder to hold it in, leading to those urgent, frequent nighttime awakenings. It's a straightforward equation: more fluid in, more fluid out, and an enlarged prostate makes that out part more challenging and urgent. Consider John, a gentleman in his late 60s who loved his nightly ritual every evening. Around 9 p.m., he'd settle into his favorite armchair with a large mug of herbal tea, convinced it was helping him relax and unwind. He'd sip it slowly, sometimes refilling it, right up until he went to bed at 10 p.m. Without fail, he'd be up 2 or 3 times before dawn, feeling groggy and frustrated. We talked about his routine, and the simple suggestion was to shift his fluid intake. Instead of cutting back on water entirely during the day, because staying hydrated is absolutely crucial for overall health, the focus was on when he was drinking it. The actionable step here is to aim to consume the majority of your daily fluid intake earlier in the day. Try to significantly reduce your liquid consumption, especially plain water, in the 2 to 3 hours leading up to your planned bedtime. If you normally go to bed at 10 p.m., try to finish your last significant drink by 7 p.m. Now, this doesn't mean you have to dehydrate yourself. A small sip if your mouth is dry is perfectly fine. The goal is to avoid large volumes. Think of it like a reservoir. If you fill it right before you want it to be empty, it's going to overflow. Your body needs time to process those fluids. And by giving it a head start earlier in the day, you allow your kidneys to do their work and your bladder to empty out before you're in the horizontal position trying to sleep. This slight adjustment alone can make a remarkable difference, often reducing those nocturnal trips by 1 or even 2. It's one of the easiest changes to make, and the results can be felt almost immediately, allowing you to experience longer stretches of uninterrupted sleep. This simple shift in timing your hydration is a powerful first step in supporting your prostate and reclaiming your nights. Continuing our journey through the evening habits that can sneakily impact your prostate, let's talk about something many of us enjoy after a long day. Those comforting sips of certain beverages or indulging in specific foods that seem harmless but can be quite irritating to your bladder. And, consequently, your prostate, especially when consumed late in the evening. I'm talking about things like caffeine, alcohol, and even spicy foods. You see, These aren't just enjoyable treats. They are what we call bladder irritants. Caffeine, found in coffee, some teas, and even certain sodas, is a diuretic, meaning it makes your body produce more urine. Drinking a cup of coffee or a strong black tea in the late afternoon or evening isn't just keeping you awake. It's actively telling your kidneys to work overtime right when you're trying to wind down for bed. Your bladder fills up faster, and with an aging prostate that might already be restricting flow. This quickly becomes a recipe for multiple nighttime awakenings. Alcohol works in a similar fashion, not only as a diuretic, but also by relaxing the bladder muscles, making it harder for your bladder to hold urine effectively. Even a single glass of wine or a beer with dinner, if it's too close to bedtime, can be enough to trigger those unwanted trips. Then there are spicy foods. While delicious, that fiery chili, that curry, or even a very seasoned meal consumed in the evening can irritate the lining of your bladder. This irritation can lead to increased urgency and frequency, mimicking the symptoms of an overactive bladder, which, when combined with an enlarged prostate, compounds the issue significantly. Imagine a sensitive internal lining being constantly provoked just as you're trying to achieve deep sleep. It's a challenge. For example, my friend David, a big fan of Mexican food, used to suffer from terrible nocturia. He swore off late-night drinks, but still woke up frequently. It wasn't until we discussed his Friday night chili ritual that he realized the connection. He was enjoying a large, spicy bowl of chili around 8 p.m., and his bladder was paying the price throughout the night. The actionable advice here is to create a no-go zone for these bladder irritants in the late afternoon and evening. Try to have your last caffeinated drink no later than early afternoon, say 2 or 3 p.m. For alcohol, consider making it an earlier evening indulgence, or better yet, opt for non-alcoholic alternatives entirely after dinner. And when it comes to spicy foods, try to enjoy them at lunchtime or earlier in the day, giving your digestive system and bladder plenty of time to process them before you lie down. Making these conscious food and drink choices in the latter half of your day can significantly reduce the burden on your bladder and prostate, paving the way for more peaceful, uninterrupted nights. It's about being mindful of how these common items, when consumed at the wrong time, can truly disturb your body's natural rhythm and your prostate's comfort. Moving on from what we put into our bodies, let's turn our attention to the rhythm of your life, specifically your sleep patterns, because disrupted sleep hygiene and irregular sleep schedules can also have a profound, often overlooked, impact on your prostate health. You might be thinking, how does when I sleep affect my prostate? Well, our bodies thrive on routine. They operate on a sophisticated internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm, which regulates everything from hormone production to organ function, including your kidneys and bladder. When you have an erratic sleep schedule, going to bed at vastly different times each night, or frequently staying up very late, you throw this internal clock into disarray. This disruption can interfere with the natural hormonal balance that helps control urine production. For instance, a hormone called antidiuretic hormone, or ADH, normally increases its production at night, signaling your kidneys to produce less urine while you sleep. But if your sleep schedule is all over the place, your body might not release enough ADH, leading to increased urine output during the night, even without excessive fluid intake. This puts more pressure on your bladder and prostate, exacerbating any existing issues and leading to more nighttime awakenings. Think of it like this. Your body expects a certain pattern, and when that pattern is constantly shifting, it struggles to adapt efficiently. Imagine trying to run a complex machine without a consistent power supply. It will inevitably malfunction. For many men over 60 who may already be experiencing some prostate enlargement, this hormonal imbalance due to poor sleep can turn a mild nocturia problem into a severe one. I remember a gentleman, Arthur, who retired and found himself with no set schedule. Some nights he'd stay up watching TV until past midnight. Others he'd be in bed by 9 p.m. He was constantly tired and, despite managing his fluid intake, found himself frequently getting up at night. We discussed the importance of a consistent sleep schedule, emphasizing going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends. The actionable step here is to prioritize what we call sleep hygiene. This means aiming for a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, ideally within an hour's variation, 7 days a week. Create a relaxing pre-sleep routine, perhaps a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music. Avoid screens, phones, tablets, computers, and TV for at least an hour before bed, as the blue light emitted from these devices can further disrupt your circadian rhythm. Ensure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. By establishing a predictable and healthy sleep routine, you allow your body's natural rhythms to normalize, optimizing hormone production and supporting your bladder and prostate in their nighttime functions. This consistent approach to sleep isn't just about feeling more rested. It's a crucial strategy for managing prostate symptoms and significantly improving your quality of life. Now, let's address a habit that might seem counterintuitive but is incredibly common and detrimental to your prostate health, particularly at night, holding your urine for too long, or, conversely, rushing urination. Both ends of this spectrum can create problems. Many men, especially as they get older, might try to train their bladder by holding urine for extended periods, hoping to increase bladder capacity and reduce frequency. While the bladder is designed to hold urine, consistently overstretching it by delaying urination when you feel the urge can weaken the bladder muscles over time. A weakened bladder doesn't empty as efficiently, leaving residual urine behind. This residual urine can lead to a feeling of incomplete emptying, increased urgency, and even a higher risk of urinary tract infections, which in turn can irritate the prostate. When you finally do go to the bathroom after holding it for too long, the sudden rush of urine through a potentially constricted urethra due to an enlarged prostate can be more forceful and painful, and it still might not fully clear everything out. On the flip side, rushing urination, often out of impatience or a desire to get back to what you were doing, is equally problematic. When you don't take the time to fully relax and empty your bladder, you again leave behind residual urine. For men with an enlarged prostate, the flow might already be weak or hesitant, requiring more time and relaxation to empty completely. If you're rushing, you're essentially short-circuiting the process. This incomplete emptying means your bladder refills faster, leading to more frequent trips to the bathroom, including those disruptive nighttime ones. Think of it like a garden hose with a kink. You wouldn't expect a full, steady stream if you're not allowing the water to flow freely. Your bladder and prostate work similarly. A gentleman named Frank, for instance, used to pride himself on how long he could hold it during the day, convinced he was strengthening his bladder. But he was also up multiple times every night when he started going to the bathroom as soon as he felt a moderate urge, and then taking a few extra moments to ensure complete emptying. He noticed a significant reduction in his nighttime trips. The actionable step here is twofold. First, respond to the urge to urinate promptly, without holding it for excessively long periods. Secondly, when you do go, take your time. Don't rush. Relax your pelvic floor muscles. You might even try the double voiding technique after you've urinated. Wait a few moments. Maybe even shift your position slightly, and try to urinate again. This helps ensure that your bladder is as empty as possible before you leave the bathroom. This mindful approach to urination, both in timing and technique, allows your bladder to function more efficiently and reduces the likelihood of that frustrating incomplete emptying feeling, thereby easing the burden on your prostate through the night. And now for the fifth night habit, which might be the surprising element I mentioned earlier, something many people don't immediately connect with their prostate health and nighttime bathroom trips. It's about your evening activity levels and how you manage fluid accumulation in your legs during the day. This one is often overlooked because it's not about what you drink or eat, but rather how your body processes fluids throughout the day and night. During the day, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting or standing, gravity causes fluid to accumulate in your legs and ankles. This is a common phenomenon, often called dependent edema, and it's why your socks might feel tighter by the end of the day. For many of us, as we age, our circulation might not be as robust, and the valves in our leg veins might not work as efficiently, making this fluid retention more pronounced. The night habit comes into play when you finally lie down to sleep. Once you're horizontal, gravity is no longer pulling that fluid downwards. Instead, it gets redistributed throughout your body, including back into your bloodstream, your kidneys, sensing this increased fluid volume in your circulation. Respond by producing more urine to get rid of it. So, even if you stopped drinking liquids hours before bed, your bladder could still be filling up rapidly due to this fluid shift from your legs. This phenomenon is a major, yet often unrecognized, contributor to nocturia, the need to urinate frequently at night, especially for men over 60. Consider Sarah's husband, Robert, who worked a desk job for years, then retired and spent most of his evenings watching TV from his favorite recliner. Despite cutting back on fluids at night, he was still getting up multiple times. The missing piece was his sedentary evening routine. He wasn't doing anything to help his body reabsorb that leg fluid before he went to bed. The actionable advice for this habit focuses on proactive measures during your evening. Firstly, consider elevating your legs for a period before bedtime, even 30 to 60 minutes with your feet propped up higher than your heart, perhaps while you're reading or watching a bit of television, can help drain that accumulated fluid back into your circulation when you're still awake. This allows your kidneys to process and eliminate that excess fluid before you go to sleep, rather than during your precious sleeping hours. Another crucial part of this is to ensure you're getting some gentle movement in during the day, even short walks, to help your circulation and prevent excessive fluid buildup in the first place. For your evenings, though, beyond leg elevation, even a short, gentle walk around the house or some light stretching can help. But the key here is to get those legs up. This simple, often overlooked strategy can be a game changer for reducing those irritating nighttime bathroom trips. So, there you have it. 5 often overlooked night habits that can significantly impact your prostate health and, more immediately, your quality of sleep. We've talked about managing your fluid intake, especially avoiding large volumes close to bedtime, and consciously reducing bladder irritants like caffeine, alcohol, and spicy foods in the evening. We delved into the importance of maintaining a consistent sleep schedule and practicing good sleep hygiene to keep your body's natural rhythms in sync. We also discussed the vital role of proper urination habits, neither holding it too long nor rushing the process, to ensure complete bladder emptying. And finally, we uncovered the surprising connection between sedentary evenings and fluid accumulation in your legs, offering simple strategies like leg elevation to minimize nighttime urine production. Remember, small changes can make a truly monumental difference to your health and happiness, especially as we navigate our incredible golden years. It's not about drastic overhauls. It's about mindful adjustments that support your body's natural functions. Implementing even just 1 or 2 of these habits can lead to a noticeable improvement in your nightly rest and overall energy levels. Your body is remarkably resilient and responsive, and giving it the support it needs in the evening hours can lead to profound benefits. We're all in this journey together, and sharing our experiences helps us all. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you tried any of these strategies? What has worked for you in managing nighttime prostate symptoms? Your insights could genuinely help someone else who's struggling. If you found this video helpful and want more practical, empowering advice to live your best life at every age, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're here to help you unlock a life full of vitality, comfort, and joy. Keep taking care of yourselves. Stay curious. And remember, you absolutely can live your best life at every age.